Hi, I'm SJ and this is Infinite Fire Readings. Thank you so much for being here. As always, I do appreciate it. Today we are going to be talking about the concept of everyone is you pushed out. This is a concept that I have been learning and it has been a journey, to say the least. However, the more I've delved into it, because I've been affirming to myself, I completely understand this topic. I'm a master at this topic. I completely get this topic. It has begun to make more and more sense. So I found something again in Louise L. Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. You Can Heal Your Life book about this topic and wanted to read it to you. She never coins it that way. She never says everyone is you pushed out, though the principles she talks about really do summarize or explain this in certain parts. So there is part in her chapter Work, which focuses on creating a work life, situation that is good for you, where she does speak about this. So it starts with affirmation for work. So her affirmation that she opens with is, I am totally open and receptive to a wonderful new position, one that uses all my talents and abilities and allows me to express creatively in ways that are fulfilling to me. I work with and for people whom I love and who love and respect me in a wonderful location and earning good money. Long affirmation though, it's a good one. It's sort of like a bit of a mantra. She actually does have quite long affirmations that she throws at the end of each chapter, or like streams of consciousness, I like to call it, which I actually enjoy and I find them effective. So it really just depends on yourself and how you like to affirm for what you want. There's no right or wrong way to do it. All the techniques are just getting your mind to focus on what it is that you want and sit in that state. So keep that in mind. All right, so she goes on to say, if there is someone at work who bothers you, again, bless them with love every time you think of them. In each and every one of us is every single quality. Why we may not choose to do so, we are all capable of being a Hitler or a Mother Teresa. If this person is critical, begin to affirm that he or she is loving and full of praise. If they are grouchy, affirm that they are cheerful and fun to be around. If they are cruel, affirm that they are gentle and compassionate. If you see only the good qualities in this person, then that is what he or she has to show to you, no matter how they behave towards others. So I was reading this. Oh, it's page 111 as well, for those who like numbers. I was reading this and I thought, yeah, that clicks with everyone is you pushed out. She doesn't say it that way. And she actually went on to explain another example as well. She has, and it says example. So I'll read this bit and then we can talk about it. So she said, his new job was to play the piano in a club where the boss was known for being unkind and mean. The employees used to call the boss Mr. Death behind his back. I was asked how to handle this situation. I replied, inside each and every person are all the good qualities. No matter how other people react to him, it has nothing to do with you. Every time you think of this man, bless him with love. Keep affirming for yourself, I always work for wonderful bosses. Keep doing this over and over. So affirming for the result and trusting in that as well. He took my advice and did exactly that. My client began to receive warm greetings and the boss soon began to slip him bonuses and hired him to play in several other clubs. The other employees who were sending out negative thoughts to the boss were still being mistreated. If you like your job but feel you are not getting paid enough, then begin to bless your current salary with love. Expressing gratitude for what we already have enables it to grow. Affirm that you are now opening your consciousness to a greater prosperity and that part of that prosperity is an increased salary. Affirm that you deserve a raise, not for negative reasons, but because you are a great asset to the company and they want to share their profits with you. Always do the best you can on the job, for then the universe will know that you are ready to be lifted out of where you are to the next and even better place. Your consciousness put you where you are now. Your consciousness will either keep you there or lift you to a better position. It's up to you. So I do want to touch on that a little bit because there is a little bit of controversy I'm finding at the moment with don't be grateful for what you have. That will keep you stuck with what you have. I don't see it that way in what Louise is talking about here. So when we are affirming for what we want, we have to start assuming that everything that we are experiencing now is working out in our favor towards what we want and for what we want. So if we are affirming for what we want, and then we're looking around in the 3D and going, oh, this isn't what I want, those are literally two affirmations that are yo-yoing. It's yo-yoing because you've got, oh, this is what I want, and then you go, oh, this isn't what I want. And all the subconscious mind is hearing, this is what I want, this isn't what I want, this is what I want, this isn't what I want. So the importance of getting grateful for what we have now takes away the resistance and starts creating appreciation, which allows in more things to be appreciative of. It's that simple. It's not that you're affirming that you want to keep having no money. It's that you start being grateful that you can afford certain things with that money that you want. And you affirm, and I'm going to be able to afford more things. I know I am. You appreciate both of it. You don't just stop with the lack of money or stop with the lack of, everyone is you pushed out. You don't just stop with what they give you and then just settle there. And it's the same with objects as well. I kind of tangented there, but you affirm for both. So with everyone as you pushed out, I did go on a bit of a rant then. We'll get back to the topic. So everyone as you pushed out. With the Mr. Death example, that person just started seeing their boss with love. I've actually done this before in a workplace that I was employed at for a time. I remember going into this new role, and the person who was my supervisor was like visually very similar to this other boss that I'd previously had that I didn't like, and they did not like me, and I didn't understand, obviously what was going on then, but it did not end well in my view. Anyway, it was a blessing though. I blessed it because it actually took me on a trajectory. It was one of the best things that ever happened because it took me on a trajectory towards doing my art, and at the time that was really big for me. So I made my first commission from being relieved of that role. However, I saw this new manager and I was like, the first thought I had was, oh my gosh, they're going to be like, I don't know, an asshole. And then I caught myself, and I didn't realize what I was doing at the time. I was like, no, they're going to be absolutely lovely. And I affirmed it. I actually affirmed it and I sent it to them. And I remember doing that because it was important to me that they were. They were one of, and still are one of the most lovely managers I think I ever had. I did end up leaving that role for other reasons though. That was my own growth again. And that was like a year or so later. Though they were so lovely all the time, really supportive, one of the best team leaders at the time as well. Everyone loved them. And this is before I knew anything about them at the time I sent this affirmation off. They even donated to charity. They, because I got, I added them on Facebook at one point. They were the loveliest boss. I'd actually forgotten about that story until just then. So that's interesting as well. When you affirm that someone is the way you want them to be, but not in a way of you're like, you will change. No. That's an affirmation, is saying you will change. Like there's nothing to change. You just start seeing the qualities in them that already exist. You start affirming the qualities that already exist. If you are, confused about how to do this, think about a situation where you had someone that maybe at first you two didn't like each other. And then the more you got to know each other, the more you liked each other, and then you bonded and formed a great friendship, Think of it that way. So no one's ever set in stone. How someone is never set in stone, and how people behave is never set in stone. There's always ways to see the situation. You can always give someone the benefit of the doubt. And in doing so, they're going to reflect back to you the qualities that you are blessing and reflecting in them from them. I don't know why this quote came to mind, I'm going to say it. A really good old friend of mine once said to me, you're a spark in a world full of mirrors. And it's to this day, it's one of the most lovely compliments I think I've ever received. And it probably comes from somewhere, but it was just a really nice thing for someone to say. And at the time, I was in a very, very empowered place. So it was just reflecting back at me my own beliefs about myself. Though the thing is, we're all a spark in a world full of mirrors. We're all that spark. And when you uplift people and when you shine light on them as the best version of themselves, they will shine that light back at you. You know, when you have faith in people and you affirm their faith, they will come back to you and show you that that faith was real. I've had this experience a few times with encouraging other people to follow their dreams, and even having them encourage me to follow my dreams at times. I've taken their faith for myself, and by doing so, I chose to select that as a thought in my own mind, right? So it was me doing it the whole time. Though what we allow in that's good will come back to us, and what we give that's good will come back to us. It's all part of the same process in a way. I feel like I'm kind of going on a little bit of a ramble though. Just, yeah, I think the crux of it with Everyone As You Pushed Out, and with these examples that Louise L. Hay gave in her book here, is that when you shine light on other people and you genuinely have faith in them, you genuinely see them as good enough, they're going to come back as good enough, as more than good enough. So, you know, if you have faith in someone, that faith will be adopted. That faith will be adopted, because I believe that everyone fundamentally wants to be loved and cared for and nourished, and believes that in themselves, in their absolute unbreakable core. And that's why, you know, when we do have that faith, people become that way. Also, I mean, you can affirm that someone is mean and then they become kind of mean to you. You know, if you start assuming that way, there's always so many different stories you can tell yourself about why someone is behaving a certain way. You know, if someone's ignoring you, you can affirm that they don't like you, or you can affirm that they are going through something. Of course they like you, they're processing stuff, and you know, they'll get back to you when they're ready. They're busy right now. Both of those are thoughts that you can have. And the second one is shining light on the benefit of the doubt. It's trusting in them to be the best version of themselves. So when you do that, it comes back to you. It just does. It naturally does if you really see it that way. So yeah, I wanted to put that out there because of some of my experiences. It's really interesting how recording these videos as well is shining light on these other affirmations and manifestations I created that I'd forgotten about. Actually, there was another, there's a chapter in John Coe's book I'm going to read on that as well. Anyway, that's a little bit of Everyone As You Pushed Out, an example I wanted to shine light on, because I think there can be confusion about how people become what you think about them, and that is the perfect example. So having faith in them is what creates it. Having faith in yourself, having faith in them is what creates that. So yeah, feel free to comment below with any questions as well, or any insights or thoughts. I am always learning also. Please also like and subscribe as well. It really supports my channel. Check out my Patreon and have a wonderful space time wherever you are. I will catch you in your next reading. Bye.